Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and today we're doing another Sudsy recap. And today we're talking about Days of Our Lives. But before we're talking about Days of Our Lives, let's talk about how today was the Halloween at work. It isn't officially Halloween until Monday, but because we always have to celebrate everything on Friday, even though we'll be at work on Monday, we had to do it today on Friday. So there were a lot of great costumes. There was a group of ladies that did the Golden Girls last year, and this year they kind of expanded their group and they were Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So they went from 4 to 8, and they did a really great job. They did a really good job. And then they were great, and there was a Belle there from Beauty and the Beast, of course, beautiful. And they're the best though, the best, at least the most current costume was there was this guy who was dressed up as Kenneth Bone from the debates. I mean, he had a microphone and everything. I mean, he looked so good. He looked so good. It was fucking great. Oh, and there was a good scorpion from Mortal Kombat. I knew who he was, so I was like, I know who you are. You're Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. You should have told me. I would have been Sub-Zero, right? That would have been cool. Anyways, I couldn't have dressed up today anyway, so whatever. Anyway, so that was, and then they had the kids come afterwards because the kids actually, the people's children came to work, and then we gave them candy. I didn't have any candy to give out except there was this one kid who is he's the kid of one of our lawyers. He's a female lawyer, and he had a really a very elaborate and scary devil mask, and he looked really frightening. And he was at the cubicle next to mine, and his mom was like, tell him who you are for Halloween. And he said, I'm my mom. And I lost it. I was like, kid, I don't have that much candy, but you can have everything that I have. Take it. You are the best. That answer was awesome. Take it. Take it. It is great. There was no contest for the kids, but I definitely had my votes for best overall, most creative, scariest, and cutest. So I definitely, participated and had lots of fun today, despite there were a lot of Scrooges that didn't want us to have any fun. You wonder why I come home, and why I drink so much. I drink so much because that is the prevailing attitude at work, and that's why I drink so much, because no one else, there's so much pressure. It does drive me a little bit crazy. And whatever. That's going to set me off into a whole tangent, and we're talking Days of Our Lives. Okay, Days of Our Lives. Okay. So well, actually, let's go even further. So about 20 years ago, 19 years ago, okay, 1997, I was in Light Magic with my friend Tracy Sinclair, who's now a casting director for Below Deck. And we were in Light Magic together, and at the time she was working for some company that did like personal appearances for people, and one of the people she worked with was Brian Datillo from Days of Our Lives. He plays Lucas, right? And at the time, Eileen Davidson was on, and she was playing her 5 different characters. But we were so in love with Susan Banks. We loved Susan Banks, right? And she told Lucas this, and he loved her. He said he loves her too, and he actually gave me an autographed picture saying that Christian just main. It was great, and it was cool because I actually ended up helping him years later when I worked at Bath and Body Works in Sherman Oaks. Him and his son came in, and they would buy stuff for his wife, so that was really sweet too. So they were really cool. Anyways, I just thought I'd take that trip down memory lane. Okay, so Days of Our Lives this past week. First of all, I love Dr. Grant. Now, we all know Dr. Grant is played by Vanessa Williams, not Vanessa Williams, the singer Vanessa Williams, Colors of the Wind Vanessa Williams, not her. It's actually Vanessa L. Williams or she Vanessa L. Williams? Whatever, the one that was on Melrose Place. That's the one that's now Dr. Grant on Days of Our Lives. And she's doing a fantastic job. She played Abe's heart surgeon. And Abe did not know that he had a pre-existing condition, and he hadn't been to a doctor in forever, and he hadn't had a checkup. So after his first surgery, there were complications. But then she knew what she was dealing with once she found out about the pre-existing condition, and then she did a second surgery, and he was fine. But the whole time, Theo was throwing a hissy fit, and I mean, so part of that does not ring true. It really doesn't. Like, I don't think I mean, like, even if someone was autistic, because that's the whole thing that they're going to say is, oh, it's, it's because he's autistic. No, I don't think so, because autistic people, they would actually probably be a little bit more willing to see that, like, his father hasn't had anyone in his life, except with the exception of Maxine for a couple dates, who disappeared from the face of the planet. Where is Maxine? We want Maxine back. First of all, that's another thing. Salem Hospital used to be the place to work, right? Maxine worked there. Kayla works there. Dr. Hamilton. No, that's General Hospital. I'm getting my scopes confused. Finn, whatever his name was, the Aussie, the hot Aussie, he worked there. Dr. Jonas worked there. Melanie worked there. Abby worked there. The Best and Bill Bauer ruled that place. I mean, it was a hotbed of activity. And now there's just not that many people. Marlena has worked there for decades. So it doesn't make that much sense now, because all these people now don't work there anymore. So I'm glad that at least Dr. Grant is now kind of bringing that back, because, even though it's not General Hospital, a lot of it takes place at Salem Hospital. So, let's kind of bring that back, and hopefully they'll bring Maxine back. Oh, I would love it if they brought Maxine back and there was this love triangle between Abe and Dr. Grant and Maxine. That would be great. But right now there's not even any love between Dr. Grant and Abe, so that's kind of jumping the gun a little bit. But you never know. You never know in soap opera land. Whoever would have thought that Ann Milbauer would be in a love triangle with Lucas and Adrian? I love that. I'm still loving that. Even though they haven't really revisited that topic, I don't care. I love that. I love that idea. Anything that has Ann Milbauer on the screen more, I'm totally down with. Okay. So that whole thing with Theo, it's just really kind of annoying. It's really irritating. And then we got to see what a great actor, so my mom was like, I love Aiden, Aiden is such a good actor, and he is a good actor, and his talents were wasted on that show. So I'm going to bid him adieu, because he left the show this week, but he did so in a great way, and the writing was really good for his last week. And hopefully we'll see him again, But I will say that his leaving has kind of opened the door for Andre to get back at Hope. And today, on Friday's episode, they actually kind of started that. So we'll see how that turns out on Monday. Like I said, the best days to watch soap operas are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because that's when everything happens. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can flush them. But Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for sure. Those are the days to watch. Because Fridays is when everything dramatic happens, and then Mondays is when it all gets wrapped up. So those are the two best days. Wednesdays are good too, because randomly in the middle of the week something will happen and it's a little bit crazy. Remember how Orpheus was the last member of the Legion of Doom that had escaped from prison? Well, apparently they had killed him, and I don't know, maybe I was too drunk and I didn't see that, or it didn't air, or they broke in with news or something and I couldn't see it. I didn't remember them killing him, right? But I do remember the next day there was a scene at the Brady pub where they're all reminiscing and joking and having a good, not them all, but John, Marlena, Kayla, and Steve were all talking about how happy they were they killed Orpheus and blah, blah, blah. Well, I knew he wasn't dead because he came back out of the hospital and he showed up as a magician today, and he disappeared with Kayla and Marlena. Well, I love me some Kayla, but if you want to disappear with Marlena, you can take John with you, and then that'll be fine. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you so much for logging on. I do appreciate you. I hope you all have a very safe and happy Halloween. You can talk about Days of Our Lives with me at Angel Benton at Twitter, on Twitter at Angel Benton. I always say at Twitter. I mean on Twitter at Angel Benton. And hashtag days. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Young and the Restless, and Sunday I'll be discussing General Hospital. And then Monday will be my last Sudsy recap from Vegas for a week. I'm going to Orlando just for a week. Okay? Well, take care, everybody, and have a great night. Wubba, wubba, wubba.